Hello there, and welcome to the first episode of WOK TALK. And late Merry Christmas. It is December 27th. Um, Before I move on to anything else, I just wanted to point out there's a little maple leaf engraved on the walk here. I don't know if you can make that out. Just right above, right here. Don't know if you can see that. But I need to start things off with some squats. Now, what's different about WOK TALK? Well, I pointed out the little maple leaf on the shield there because I want to point out a little something about the walk, which I may accidentally call a shield. But for all intents and purposes, it is a cooking implement and an exercise implement. Um, you could use a frying pan to stop, like if somebody threw a rock at you, you could deflect it with a frying pan, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a frying pan. I'll just leave it at that. Feel free to ask any questions you would like, but I'll try to have a little fact about the walk on every episode. Ooh, running out of puffer. Now, I want to discuss both RLSH stuff and YouTube stuff. Not necessarily just the RLSH YouTube stuff, but I will discuss a bit of that. As always, I'm watching more Phoenix Jones documentaries on YouTube because, well, anybody can do a documentary on him. There's so much information on him, it's fucking ridiculous. And this one brought up a good point. I've always just criticized the fact that he used pepper spray at all, and the fact that he seemed to use it quite a bit, at least as far as I could tell. He uses really insanely powerful pepper spray, and the comparison was made to a flamethrower in this video, and that's a little bit crazy of a comparison, but I mean, like, pepper spray is no shit. You use pepper spray to scare bears away. And yeah, I really appreciated that emphasis on how powerful his 2 million Scoville pepper spray was, because that's a detail that is brought up again and again. It was 2 million Scoville, and that's excessive. And it explains why you go to spray one person and a whole crowd of people are complaining that their eyes are stinging. I hate words like that. It doesn't sound like it's coming out in all the syllables. Stinging. Yeah. I just appreciated that detail being emphasized, and it's really interesting hearing different people's interpretations of things. Like, I've heard people complain that Phoenix Jones just pepper sprayed protesters on May Day. And actually, in that instance, he wasn't using pepper spray. His partner at the time, I'll just call him a partner because I hate when people call him sidekicks. His partner at the time, Midnight Jack, he was the one firing the pepper spray, and he wholeheartedly admitted that he was firing pepper spray on people. But people had claimed that he was just going after protesters, and that they weren't attacking the building. I think it was a police station that had been basically abandoned by the police. And here's Phoenix Jones and his buddy trying to protect this building, and that's more my criticism there. Not that the protesters weren't being peaceful, but the fact that you're just protecting an empty building. It seems kind of like, yeah, sure, a building's going to get vandalized, but even the police aren't protecting it. So, like, it's not like anybody's getting hurt. Like, maybe you could have let that one go. That's just my opinion. But sometimes people want to stand on principle, and a build, like V says, from V for Vendetta, Veda says, a building is a symbol. But then again, so is the act of destroying a building, just like V said. And so you got to realize the people were mad at the goings on at the time, and maybe they needed something to take their aggression out on, and maybe you shouldn't stand in the way of that if nobody's getting hurt. People can't be replaced, property can be replaced. But if you want to record and try to pin blame on people or something of that effect, I don't know how you would. I try not to cause trouble for people that aren't actively hurting other people, so I have a hard time even wrapping my head around it. Where it's like, so what, would you call the police and say, hey, this police station you abandoned is being attacked? And the police would be like, yeah, no shit. But that's just me being critical of what happened there. It's not an easy thing to imagine policing protesters. But if you want to learn about the May Day protests and Phoenix Jones, it's all on fucking YouTube, man. And from many different perspectives with people with different opinions. And it's kind of the beauty of the public eye, as fair or unfair as they may seem. There seems to be people who are overly critical and people who just ignore the bad stuff and just love Phoenix Jones. I see that a lot too. It's really frustrating. But anyways, I want to move on to other things on YouTube since it's the holidays. Well, since it's the holidays, you think I'd want to be watching Flashgit's new Christmas video, Merry Kingsmas, or whatever it's called, Space King. Well, there's three kinds of animated shows on YouTube. You got some really amazing polished stuff, like there's this channel called Glitch, I believe it's called, and they just do television quality, beyond television quality, like their own level standard of quality. It's great. They do the Amazing Digital Circus, and they started a bunch of other series like the Gaslight District, and what's the other one? Oh, Knights of Guinevere. That looks like it's going to be great. Well, I mean, they had the pilot out, which was really great, and a big, brutal criticism of the Disney Corporation. And yeah, there's a lot of heart in that kind of series, and I full two hands in the bucket say enjoy that. There's nothing wrong with that. I have no major criticisms of Glitch. It's just a quality products all around. And then there's another kind of YouTube series, that are not quite as polished. I believe the channel name is X CRISX, I believe it is. I might have that a little bit wrong, but it's the SCP Versus guy. Basically, he takes SCP story characters. If people are unfamiliar with that, they're a little hard to explain. They're like homebrew scary stories about monsters and the big organization that captures these monsters, the SCP, Secure, Contain, Protect organization. And basically, he does versus videos between like comic characters and anime characters fighting like SCP 9096, which is basically a monster that will stop at nothing to kill you once you've seen its face, whether you've seen it in a photograph or in person. It won't stop. That's just its whole thing. But it's like it can't be stopped. Like you can't kill it. Like no matter what you do to it, and it won't be deterred. It's just unstoppable. Um, with a few exceptions of ways that it can be deterred. But it'll like chase you from planet to planet and unbelievable shit like that. Yeah, even though it seemed like it was just like a fast running thing, but somehow it pulls off weird high level feats, like I say, going planet to planet or universe to universe, depending on what story you're reading. But it's just a relentless zombie monster going after the likes of Superman and Yujiro Hanma and Homelander and and it's just a lot of fun. It really takes you back to that feeling of watching Dragon Ball Z when you're a kid and just watching landscapes just get destroyed and blown apart into itsy little pieces. And you know, the art style is its own thing. It's not like the slickest looking thing you ever seen, but you know which character is which character for the most part. And, it's just full of character, and that's the other kind of YouTube series you can find. Is just rough little animations that are really good. But the X Christ X, he's something else. Is SCP versus Thrag that just came out. You can just watch all the people reacting to all that. It's everybody loves it. He's just added so much joy into the world with his series. Speaking of joy to the world and all that shit, Christmas and goodwill towards men, back to where I started, Space King. And this is the other kind of YouTube series because there's a lot less censorship on YouTube. So you just have people saying things you wouldn't hear in other places. And I gotta be honest, I let it go at first. And then it's like you let it go, and then you realize why you shouldn't let it go, because it just gets so much worse. It's Warhammer 40k parody, and for those who don't know Warhammer 40k, it is war never ends. The future is only war. It's also racism and hatred on all sides, in all directions. And there's so many ways you can make fun of this grim, dark future. And they did. But they basically just did it all again. And it's like not really criticizing a lot of it. It's just like playing around in that playground. And you know what? That's kind of the fun of it. You know, it's a gruesome, horrible universe, and it's basically little children in man's bodies running around, just committing violence in the name of Space King or looking for Space King. And you got a character named Hate Monger, and that's just perfectly. That's just part of Space King. It's just like, yeah. You just hate is just inherently part of it, and that's part of the comedy of the universe. And that's actually not the thing that kind of bugs me, because it's like I'm kind of sick of that from 40k already. I was sort of hoping we were going to make fun of that, but I'm just going to say it because this video needs to be short. Otherwise, I can't upload it. They use the R slur a lot, and then they use it once in like the first episode, but then in the one before Kingsmas, they just used it a whole bunch, and basically used it as the name of a character at one point. And
Yeah, I just don't feel like fucking watching anymore because one of my biggest heroes, he's got struggles in his life, and people would put really hateful, painful labels like that on him, and he's a fucking hero. Um, I don't even want to bring his name up because I hate to even associate him with that word. But anyone who's in Grand Prairie, you probably know who I'm talking about. And the very fact that that word would even make you think of a hero, uh, an Olympian, bothers me. That word bothers me. And so I don't give a shit about Flash Gits' Christmas special because their whole fucking Space King thing is just full of fucking hatred and full of real hatred, not just parody of like, oh look, hatred is funny. It's like no, it's real hatred. So for Christmas, I'm not watching fucking Space King anymore. I am never watching Space King again because it sucks. All right, Merry Christmas. My name is Captain Canada. You might know me as Joseph Arthur Roszell. Thank you for watching. I want to wish you all luck in the world. I love you, and I want you to know that suicide is never the answer. Peace out, and Merry Christmas.